What's good, fuckers? I am the almighty TheMassaCreature, and here's yet another beautifully scripted video for your sexy selves. This video is going to be about my summer slaughter experience. I was at the 9:30 Club in DC on August 15th. I went with my friends Chris and Ariel. We rode the Metro, and that shit is pretty fucking fun. It was my first time riding the Metro. We were just messing with everyone on the Metro by talking in our own made-up language. We just tried to blend in all these different dialects we could into one fucking language, like German, Russian, Hawaiian, etc. We kept laughing at this stupid-ass poster of Dr. Phil. We were like, Dr. Phil? I was going the child rapist. Anyway, so we got into the venue like literally 10 seconds before Within the Ruins started playing. And it was my second time seeing them, by the way. When they started playing, one fucking person was thrown down. And that person just so happens to be a very awesome motherfucker who I chilled with throughout the whole show. And his name is Brandon. Everyone in the fucking pit area was so stiff. They were as stiff as Quagmire's cock. And there Brandon was just showing an example for everybody. Here's the thing. This was just the start of many fucking throw blocks to come. Yeah, I said throw block as opposed to cock block. You'll understand what I mean. While Brandon was thrown down, the stupid fucking fat-ass security guard grabbed Brandon by the back of the neck and pulled him in close like he was going to make out with him or some shit. I couldn't hear what he was saying to him, but I made an inference, which is something you make if you see smoke rising from a garbage can. In such an instance, you would infer that something in the can was on fire, right? I inferred that the douchebag prick-faced security guard was informing Brandon of some superficial-ass policy where throwing down is not allowed or some shit. Whatever he said, Brandon stopped doing whatever he was doing, and that pissed the shit out of me. I was like, hello, it's within the ruins. It's within the fucking ruins. Like Stewie ruined. It's within the fucking ruins. And do you have any understanding of what that means? Do you have any conceivable discernment of what that entails? When Within the Ruins is playing, you throw the fuck down. You don't stand still. What kind of a pussy stands still to Within the Ruins? Within the Ruins! Anyone who doesn't know this band needs to just like get bitch slapped or some shit. Seriously. Just stop listening to Lil Wayne for 5 seconds and get your ear clits tickled for a few hours. Listen to what I'm telling you. Within the Ruins, YouTube that shit. Doesn't matter what the fuck you listen to of them. Everything that they make is awesome. And it'll just pound the shit out of your ear pussies. Seriously. Do it. Like, pause this video and listen to Within the Ruins. But only if you don't know who they are. Anyway. See, I was really fucking disheartened that someone was forced to not throw down to Within the Ruins. I was dumbfounded. I was like, are we at a show where Within the Ruins is playing? Or a fucking knitting class? Are we gonna go get some milk and cookies right before our naps in this wonderful kindergarten class we're attending? I digress. I was like, you know what? This was an isolated incident. It doesn't mean shit. It won't do shit. See, I don't know about you, but I live by this philosophy. It goes like this. I won't ask myself who is going to let me. Instead, I think I'll ask myself, who is going to stop me? And I had that shit running through my head after I saw Brandon's confrontation with that midget rapist security guard. Within the Ruins kept asking for people to start a pit, man. The singer was like, hey, just because we're the first band doesn't mean that you can't go fucking crazy. And he's absolutely right. Be a fucking man and show the first band some respect. I mean, it's within the fucking ruins! How ignorant or mentally fucking retarded can you be? For the last song, they played their song called Invade, which is the title track off their new album. And they have this breakdown in that song where the singer goes, you've lost your fucking mind. And when he said that shit, I was like, you've lost your fucking mind. And I was jumping up and down and screaming back those words from the bottom of my heart to the top of my fucking lungs. And I was decimating the shit out of that pit. Immediately, I just started to throw the fuck down. And I felt so fantastic. I felt so alive. I felt the eyes of the singer of Within the Ruins just gazing upon me. But see, that's the thing. You know, I was like, yes, my lord, you have my allegiance, and I honor your name by throwing the fuck down. But the thing is, after 10 seconds of hearing that shit in my mind, after a couple seconds of tearing shit up to Invade, What the fuck do you think happened? The stupid cunt-faced security guard grabbed the shit out of the back of my neck with a meaty fucking paw, jerked my head near his face, and he said some stupid, ridiculous, meaningless bullshit that I didn't even hear because my perception was too busy trying to savor the last couple minutes of Within the Ruins being on stage. It was on this day that I had my security guard assault cherry popped. I had never been physically restrained by a security guard at a venue before, or anywhere in the fucking world. No authority figure or human being in general has ever grabbed me by the back of the neck. I know that's probably like nothing compared to what some people have endured throughout their lives. I mean, I've never been in a fight and I've never been abused, so assault is something I'm particularly unaccustomed to. Nevertheless, it was pretty uncomfortable. It wasn't painful per se, and this was a gargantuan fucking black security guard who looks like he could kill me in one punch. But I'm thankful it was only grabbing and not curb stomping or some shit. For me, I've come to the conclusion that if I'm ever in the midst of an inadvertently evoked confrontation, I will instinctively do this shit. I will raise up my arms like this. Hey! That's what I was doing. I was just like, hey. It's like, hey, I don't want any trouble. Don't tase me, bro. I basically did that for the whole 10 seconds he was talking to me. In his unperceivable volume. I was really fucking bummed after he let go of me. I just kind of went to the front of the venue and reflected upon my thoughts. Because that incident could only entail one major ball-busting and dejecting realization. I wouldn't be able to throw down at Summer Slaughter. I'd have to see As Blood Runs Black, Oceano, and Whitechapel without throwing. That busted the fuck out of my balls, dude. I felt like I teabagged a snapping turtle. I felt like I teabagged a lion. Any simile I use can't even depict the dejection in half. I can't even depict the dejection that smashed my balls after Within the Ruins got done playing. All I could think to myself was, fuck this venue. Fuck the 930 Club. Fuck DC. See, I didn't think the 930 Club sucked that much. I mean, I went there for my first intentional concert, as opposed to unintentional, which would describe the concert I went to when I was 1 year old. Back when my dad played and Manson took me to Jackson whenever he would play there. I went to concerts when I was a baby, but I never intentionally went. I was basically dragged to them. And it was all for the good. I'm not complaining about going to Jackson unintentionally at 1 year old. Jack's pride for fucking life. But anyway, I went to my first intentional concert at age 14 at the 930 Club to see my all-time favorite band, Dragon Force. Fuck the haters. I have a diverse music taste, so get over it. Anyone who knows me well knows that I'm a diehard Dragon Force fan, okay? And they've been my favorite band since 2006, and nothing will ever change that, no matter how much I love Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya, Circle of Contempt, etc. God damn it, who's calling? Press and hold. I don't know you. It's my dad's phone. Okay, yeah, I went to see Dragon Force open up for Killswitch Engage at the 930 Club on the No Fear tour back in 2007. At that time, I barely had a music taste in metal. I was still listening to bands like Green Day, Fall Out Boy, The All-American Rejects, Hawthorne Heights, Coheed and Cambria, AFI, Yellow Card, Blink-182, Angels and Airwaves, The Click 5, Hymn, etc. And I still listen to those bands to this very day, but Dragon Force opened up my taste in metal. From Dragon Force, my music taste moved on to Slipknot, Disturbed, Trivium, As I Lay Dying, and random metal bands like that. And it wasn't until I discovered Born of Osiris that my music taste progressed to all the shit on Sumerian Records and furthermore into hardcore, metalcore, and deathcore bands. But I'm digressing in a million fucking directions. Here's my point. When I first went to the 930 Club when I was 14, I wasn't a mosher. All I wanted to do at that show was stand still while I watched Dragon Force and just shout back the lyrics to all their songs like I always do when I see them. Thus, when I was 14, I didn't realize how much of a fucking shithole the 930 Club really was. I mean, it's a great venue for people who want to stand around or push mosh, but for the hardcore, metalcore, deathcore scene, it's just fucking stupid. If you have bands like Within the Ruins, As Blood Runs Black, Oceano, and Whitechapel play anywhere with any fucking bands, you're going to have people in the pit who want to throw down. So if you have these bands play at the 930 Club, a venue where throwing down is not allowed, you're setting up these fans for a fucking trap. You're setting up these fans that want to pay good money to see their favorite bands and just have a good time for a fucking trap. You're setting them up for biased, prejudiced, intolerant, malevolent, meaningless, pointless, senseless, unfair physical harassment when they pay good money to see their favorite bands and just have a good time. And believe me, they will go to great fucking lengths to have a good time. Brandon, the guy I met at the show, and all of his friends whom with he came to the show, all came to the show from Virginia fucking Beach. They drove 4 hours to see Whitechapel, even though they were playing with bands like Dying Fetus and 6 Feet Under. They checked into a hotel in D.C. to see Whitechapel. They had to pay money for 5 tickets. They had to pay money for a hotel room for 5 people. They had to pay money for enough gasoline that would enable them to drive for a total of 8 hours. What did they get? A bunch of sweaty-ass, obese fucking security guards grabbing at their necks. You're probably like, oh, well, what's the big fucking deal? I mean, why do you have to throw down at a show? Why can't you push mosh? Why can't you just enjoy the music while standing still? Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding me? How would you feel if you went to a techno show or an industrial show and you weren't allowed to do the Melbourne Shuffle? Wouldn't you feel a little bit trapped, cheated, or confined, or enthralled, or imprisoned, or misled, or deceived, or betrayed? You can dance to techno music. You can dance to industrial music. You can dance to hardcore, metalcore, and deathcore music. If you can't dance to your favorite music, you feel like someone just rained on your parade. You feel like you had a date and the person didn't show up. You feel like you didn't get any presents for Christmas. You feel like you got a flat tire when you're on the highway, driving to the beach or driving to any vacation spot, and you didn't have a spare. You felt like someone just keyed the shit out of your car and you had like a fucking Ferrari. You feel like someone took a shit in your bathroom and overflowed the shit out of your toilet. Literally. You feel like you're about to fuck the hottest person in the world and make every sexual fantasy of yours come true. But right before you do, right after you whip out your massive fucking boner, his or her parents just walk right into the room and start beating you with a baseball bat. What would happen to your boner if that shit happened? It kind of goes away, doesn't it? Yeah, just a teeny weeny bit. Anyway, after Within the Ruins, I told my friends Chris and Ariel about my little mishap, and they expressed their remorse for my situation with compassion. Just saying, well, you know what, that sucks, blah, blah, blah. We went upstairs to the balcony to see Flesh God Apocalypse, and they're pretty good. I'm not the biggest death metal fan, but I don't hate it. I mean, deathcore originates from death metal for fruitcake's sake. I mean, literally 90% of everyone in the venue was either sitting still or standing still. That's something that's hard to ignore. The 10% remaining percent of the venue happen to be the people in the pit who are push moshing. And for me, it's kind of depressing to see so many fucking people in the pit not doing a goddamn thing, and so many fucking people up in the little surrounding balcony not doing a goddamn thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the death metal scene, but when you compare it to the deathcore scene, I have to say that there is an eminent, significant, conspicuous, remarkable, extraordinary fucking difference in the energy from the crowd. Believe me. See, when Within the Ruins played at Jack's, the entire fucking crowd was moving, an exception for that one line of people standing at the very front of the stage on the barricade, and the people at the bar having beers and shit. So I'm telling you, I saw people wearing Flesh God Apocalypse shirts standing stone cold fucking still for Flesh God Apocalypse, and people wearing Dying Fetus shirts standing stone cold fucking still for Dying Fetus. I'm not saying they weren't enjoying themselves, but they looked so depressed. They were just like, Flesh God Apocalypse, represent. Is this the passion you can expect from death metal fans? I don't know, man. I'm not trying to generalize. All venues are different, and all individuals are different, but it's just too much of a commonplace and prevalent characteristic of apathy to ignore. Thenceforth, I digress yet again. Oceano was coming on right after Flesh God. Thence, I immediately got the fuck off my ass, went downstairs, took a piss, and went into the pit. I saw Brandon standing right behind me, who I hadn't even met yet, so I obviously didn't know his name was Brandon yet, but I had to let that guy know that I felt his pain. If that dude wasn't there, I would have felt so isolated. I would have felt isolated as shit. I was like, damn, I'm just a victim, just one solitary victim. I'm just a grain of sand in the fucking desert. I'm here in the midst of all these death metal fans who are allowed to mosh the way they want, which was really confusing to me. It's like, you're more inclined to get hurt or even injured in a push mosh pit. I've been nearly trampled to death in these fucking pits, and yet they're still allowed, as opposed to a deathcore pit, wherein the worst case scenario is getting punched or kicked in the face. Oh no! Boo-hoo! So life-threatening. So dangerous. You see what I mean? Can you just kind of compare them? It's like, what's more dangerous? Where are you more likely to get injured or even hurt? But, I digress. The thing is, you know, I've been nearly trampled to death in those pits, and they're still allowed. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. See, Brandon was actually talking about, that shit. Talking about how they're, like, more violent than deathcore pits, and when he started talking about that, I just immediately knew that we were going to connect. You know, he was talking about that shit, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is up with these security guards in that venue? And it just kicked off from there. He was like, fuck those security guards. I'm throwing down for Oceano. And I was like, fuck yes. Someone in here who isn't a stupid-ass metal purist. We both came to the conclusion that there was no way in hell that those security guards were stopping us from throwing to Oceano, As Blood Runs Black, or Whitechapel. We agreed that maybe if we started a pit, we'd inspire more people to join. And if there were enough of us, the security guards wouldn't be able to stop all of us. We just start a pit in the back, and there'd be two kind of pits, you know what I mean? We thought that this place is ultimately fucking big enough for two pits. The push moshers can do their thing in the front, and we do our thing in the back. We established a pretty legitimate ideal of fairness there. Remember what I said before. The question isn't who is going to let us, it's who is going to stop us. I have this other philosophy that I adopted from the Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. When Quasimodo wanted to go to the Festival of Fools, he was relatively hesitant to do so on account of his master Frollo. And when he spoke of his hesitation to his gargoyle friends, one of the gargoyle friends said these words: better to beg forgiveness than ask permission. Brandon and I weren't asking for shit. This was our show, and it didn't matter what the status quo was or how many metal purists, death metal fans, push moshers, or security guards there were. We were going to give Oceano our fucking allegiance. And you know what happened? I got hair in my mouth. But no, Brandon, his friend Jason, and I made our own little pit, and we annihilated the shit out of the 930 Club. You think I'm exaggerating? You know what happened? You want to know what happened? Dude, I'm going to remember this shit the rest of my fucking life. Right before Oceano played District of Misery, the singer for Oceano saw us in our pit. He pointed straight fucking at us. And he spoke to the whole crowd the most inspiring words I'll ever hear a deathcore vocalist speak. He spoke these words: I want everyone in this room to look behind them right now. You see those guys in the back? They are your fucking enemies. Everyone in this room better watch their shit, or they will fucking hurt you. Everyone in the 930 Club was looking at Brandon, Jason, and me. Would it be I or me? Brandon, Jason, and me. Brandon, Jason, and me. Yeah. Fuck being grammatically correct. I had never felt so honored in my fucking life. I couldn't believe the singer of one of my favorite bands actually spoke about me and two other people to everyone in the venue. I never would have imagined in a million years that I'd be worthy of such acknowledgement, you know? It's one thing to be perceived, and it's another thing to actually be addressed from the stage in such a passionate demeanor. I tell you what, man. I don't think I'll ever feel such a rush of motivation, encouragement, and adrenaline like that ever again. I feel like I reached the pinnacle of fulfillment in my life. I could have just died right at that moment, and I would have felt like I lived a perfect life of infinite joy and integrity. Those words just ring throughout my whole fucking perception, man. They just ring perpetually in my ears. They are your fucking enemies. Damn fucking right. Damn fucking right. You're the right. Be like a gangster. Yeah, that's right. Ha 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 ha. Gangsters are funny. See, we are their enemies, and we stand strong, steadfast, and fucking proud. We, the enemies, reign fucking supreme, and it is we, the enemies, who will ultimately fucking prevail. Dude, when District of Misery came on, I accidentally kicked Jason. I don't even know if I kicked him in the head or the shoulder, but dude, District of Misery is like the heaviest fucking song ever written. That's just my opinion, though. When Oceano plays District of Misery, god damn it, why do I always tongue twist? I keep getting hair in my mouth. That District of Misery. Yeah, see, when Oceano plays District of Misery, it's like the Balrog from Lord of the Rings is emerging from the depths of Khazad-dûm in the Misty Mountains. It's like the Antichrist is just emerging from hell. If anyone ever stands still to District of Misery, it's probably due to the overwhelming shock of having more incapacitating orgasms in their fucking life than they ever had. More incapacitating orgasms than their cardiovascular endurance is accustomed to. It's my third time seeing Oceano, and they never disappoint, man. Never disappoint. Which side is it? This fucking 7-Eleven thermal cup. Brandon, Jason, and I were really confident in how shit was going. I got to learn their names after Oceano played. 3 other people came with them to the show. A dude named Kevin, a dude named John, and a cute little Asian chick named Melissa. That's right, I called you a cute Asian chick. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? So, yeah. Sorry, my compliments are really whack. So, we tried to start another pit when As Blood Runs Black came on. A different security guard came up to me and grabbed me by the back of the neck when we did. It happened again, I swear to God, it happened twice. And this time, what I heard was actually perceivable. He said, "Didn't we tell you to stop doing that?" I just kind of half nodded. Just like, yeah. As he held my neck in his grasp, his meaty fucking sweaty ass grasp. He said, "If we have to talk to you again, we're going to ask you to leave." Thus, I half nodded again, and I forced a facial expression that portrayed a semblance of compliance. We were pretty fucking bummed out, but we didn't stop moving. We did things that were less violent, but they were still of unconventional fare. We were putting our hands to our foreheads and our tailbones and just pretending like we were sharks and just lurking around the pit, like da-dum, 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 da-dum. And we were doing this thing appropriately called the Spider-Man, where we go like this. Spider-Man! We ejaculate webbing into your face, because we're fucking pimp like that. We were skipping, and jumping, and headbanging. We were fucking exercising. Jason started doing jumping jacks and sit-ups and shit. I started doing clapping push-ups. It was so fucking hilarious, dude. Even though we couldn't throw down, we were still having fun. And we were just trying to, like, provoke the shit out of the guards. You know, we were just goofing around As Blood Runs Black, and it was the best thing ever. We were cognizant of the fact that security guards were keeping themselves vigilant in case we were thrown down again. So this was basically our way of engaging in a sit-in. You know what I mean? It's like when a tank strolls right into your town and you protest the invasion by just standing right in front of the fucking tank. That's what we were doing. We were just standing right in the fucking way. What's it gonna do? Run you over? What were the security guards gonna do if we were gonna do jumping jacks? We were still swinging our arms. We might hit someone. We were just doing it up and down, though. We weren't doing it from side to side. That's the only real difference. That's what you gotta do, man. Have any of you ever seen the movie Get Him to the Greek? Well, the whole theme of the movie is essentially what we were doing. See, there's this thing you smoke called a Jeffrey, and it's got a whole bunch of different fucking drugs in it. And when you smoke it, you start to fucking go insane. In the movie, the main character was given a Jeffrey to smoke. Russell Brand's character was giving him counsel about it when he got high. He said these words: "When life hands you a Jeffrey, stroke the furry wall." End quote. And there was a furry wall right next to the main character when he was talking to Russell Brand's character. And yeah, I forgot the names of the characters. I forgot the name of the actor who played the main character. It's the guy who played Seth in Superbad. I don't know the names of any of the characters in Get Him to the Greek. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. But anyway, when you're tripping on a fucking Jeffrey with like opium and meth and bath salt and shit, or whatever the fuck it had. Stroking a wall that's covered in fur can alleviate your anxiety. When life hands you a Jeffrey, stroke the furry wall. Or in other words, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Or in other words, when life rains on your parade, dance in the fucking rain. That one I just made up. But you get the central meaning of all these philosophies. You just gotta find solace in this shit. Life is going to kick you in the balls. Life is going to make a bunch of bullshit rules for you from time to time. But if it does, you don't have to abide by them. You can make your own fucking rules. You can be your own fucking boss. You can be your own fucking god. You can live the way you fucking want. Fuck the rules. Fuck the authorities. Fuck anyone and anything that makes any endeavor to oppress you or suppress you. Excuse me. You are more powerful than you could ever imagine. Misery is voluntary. You can't control the fucking rain, but you can control whether or not you're smiling off your ass. Now, after ABRB, we went upstairs to watch Power Glove. It's my third time seeing those awesome motherfuckers. Video game metal, bitch. They played the Storm Eagle theme, the Mortal Kombat theme, the Song of Time from Legend of Zelda, the Tetris theme, the Kento Pokemon theme, as opposed to the Johto Pokemon theme, or any of the themes from any of the other seasons, because there's not just one fucking Pokemon theme. And, of course, the Mario theme. We kept going in and out of the venue during Dying Fetus, 6 Feet Under, and Darkest Hour. All we wanted to do was see Whitechapel. Brandon, Jason, John, and I would be chilling outside the venue, and we'd be trying to envision how this shit was going to go down. We were all like, well, I better enjoy this shit while it lasts, since we're going to get kicked out. And that's all we could foresee for ourselves. Whitechapel's going to come on, and we're going to throw down, and we're just going to get kicked out for it. We're already fucking prepared to get kicked out, man. We're prepared to get kicked out for Whitechapel. It's like being on the Titanic right before it sinks into the ocean. Crap, my headset came off. See, we were like the violin players on the Titanic. We all gathered around each other, and I was like, gentlemen, it's been a privilege sharing the pit with you tonight. It's been a privilege sharing the pit with you tonight. As opposed to playing with you tonight. Playing with you. But, yeah, anyway. God, my hair is such a fucking clusterfuck. But, yeah, we were just preparing for our supposedly inevitable fate. Like, we were about to die and shit. But as staunch as our determination was, it was honestly a bit more difficult than we imagined. There was absolutely no fucking space. Like, there was just literally no space to stand. I mean, when Whitechapel came on, we tried pushing people to the side, but all we did was piss off a bunch of 30-year-old chicks who were like Jason would do his thing, and he'd push people to the side, and they'd be like, ah! Just, ah! Yeah, that's my impression of a distressed 30-year-old chick. Ah! It wasn't long before another fucking douchewinkle-ass security guard found us and just parked his ass right in front of us. He just stood there, folded his arms and shit. Like such an official authority figure, you know? I'm official because I fold my arms. He could just sense how suspicious we were. He could sense our intentions. He was just begging for the right fucking moment to snatch one of us by the neck and carry us to the outside, but we didn't give him that chance. There we were trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and Whitechapel was up there playing Possession. I was just jumping around and shouting back the lyrics, you know, we are the disease, bitch. We're the fucking disease. And we kept walking around from corner to corner contemplating whether or not to just jump in the push pit and throw down there, but it was a lot harder than we thought because it was seriously the only place where there was any open space. But the security guards were like on 4 fucking sides of the push pit. Oh my god, that was fucking difficult. That was such a ball-busting clusterfuck. We kept walking around from corner to corner, but, you know, Jason, he went to the fucking corner and he started throwing down near the doors, and some stupid-ass cunt wearing a Dying Fetus shirt actually pushed him with his stupid-ass foot, which was followed by another repugnant pile of pusillanimous shit security guard grabbing hold of him, telling him to stop. And while he was being confronted, this random-ass girl was like, throw him out! Kick him out! I just wanted to pimp slap the shit out of her, like, bitch, no. But thankfully, he didn't get thrown out. But moreover, since Jason distracted the security guard, John was able to get away with punching that arrogant, imbecilic-ass, Dying Fetus shirt wearing cunt right in his fucking goddamn face. And while all that was going on, I was just shouting back the lyrics to all of Whitechapel's songs. The majority of their set list was shit off A New Era of Corruption, which I listened to all the time. Every time a heavy breakdown would play during a song, we'd all just look at each other and be like, fuck my life. Whitechapel was absolutely phenomenal. You know, even though we were being oppressed by security and a whole fucking forest of stiff-ass metalheads, they didn't want to spill their drinks, apparently. It was unequivocally goddamn ridiculous. We went outside right after Whitechapel, and we just chilled for a bit. But you know what? Best decision we made the whole night. You know why? I got to meet the drummer for Veil Maya. I got to meet the singer for Whitechapel. I got to meet the singer for Within the Ruins. I even got to meet the singer for Oceano. 4 band members of 4 of my favorite bands in one fucking night. Unbelievable, man. I took 2 pictures of myself that night. In one picture, it was me with the drummer of Veil Maya and the singer for Whitechapel. And in the other picture, it was me with the singer for Within the Ruins and the singer for Oceano. At this time, I was chilling with Jason, Brandon, and Melissa. So I got a picture of them with the drummer for Veil Maya and the singer for Whitechapel, too. And when Jason, Melissa, and Brandon went back inside to catch Black Dahlia Murder, I was chilling with Kevin and John outside. And I managed to get one picture of John with the drummer for Veil Maya and another picture of him with the singer for Whitechapel. It was remarkable because he was wearing a Veil Maya shirt at the time. And even more remarkable was the fact that John had never even seen Veil Maya before. He got to meet the drummer for Veil Maya before he'd even seen him live. It was brilliant, man. We all had a fucking blast. Before the Black Dahlia Murder came on, I was talking to the singer for Within the Ruins, and I told him about what was going on with us throughout the whole night. And he said he actually saw me get grabbed by the security guard during the breakdown for their song Invade. Dude, I don't know about you, but that kind of shit is a fucking honor. If a security guard restrains me when I'm throwing down Within the Ruins, and the singer for Within the Ruins fucking perceives that in the moment it transpires, it immediately becomes all worthwhile. I became a martyr for those guys because I was courageous enough to just fuck shit up in my own way regardless of the consequences. There I was expressing my devotion for them, and he saw me getting reprimanded for my devotion with his own eyes. I felt like a hero. I felt free. I felt like I served a purpose. Sheer recognition from the eyes of the singer is just all the justification I could receive for my actions regardless of the consequences. I tell you what, I went inside to catch some of the Black Dahlia Murder when they came on, after I took the pictures of John and the drummer for Veil Maya and the singer for Whitechapel. And when I was in the crowd, the singer for Within the Ruins walked right past me. And when he did that awesome thing where you just kind of pat the shoulder of the person by whom you're passing. And I did the same to him. We just kind of patted each other's shoulders, you know. But that's something that's like really flattering to me. I don't know about you, but that really brightens my day when like people do that, even if it's just complete strangers. But I'm telling you what, man, it doesn't matter how much disdain I get from security. If I have the respect of my favorite bands, I'm the happiest guy in the world. The whole fucking world could hate me, but if the singer for Within the Ruins respects me, then I'm fucking content. I could just die right there and my life would be perfect. But yeah, I went back outside while Black Dahlia Murder was still playing, and I was hanging out with Kevin and John against the wall of the venue, and some fucking homeless black dude was awkwardly talking to us about how he was sick and he was dying of starvation and all that shit. But anyway, that was it's pretty awkward. Yeah, that's just something that was, like, I don't get. Like, people are depressed when they actually have homes. It's like, how can you be depressed when you're not out there, like, asking people for money? And it's like digging in garbage cans for, like, a fucking corner of a burger or some shit. People have absolutely no idea how lucky they are. And it just really opens up your eyes when you have that kind of experience, when you have real homeless people suffering from real fucking genuine torture. But I guess people just don't know what they have until they miss it. But yeah, when we were outside after we got done being heckled by the homeless guy, we were just exchanging thoughts about how much the 930 Club sucked dick. Soon after the Black Dahlia Murder ended and everyone was coming back outside, I was reunited with Jason, Melissa, and Brandon, and soon after, I was reunited with Chris and Ariel. Then we had to depart from DC, and I had to exchange goodbyes with the Slaughter Crew, or so we might call ourselves, until we can agree on a name. I'm calling it, though, man. I met these guys at Summer Slaughter. Thenceforth, we're the Slaughter Crew. I got my handshakes with the guys, and they headed back to their hotel. The entire way back to the Metro, I was telling Chris and Ariel all the shit I've assessed here. And it was a fucking memorable night, man. Sure, we endured some assailant to the testicles, figuratively, of course, but we endured the assailant to the testicles together, man. That made it all worthwhile. I saw bands for the first time. I saw bands for the second time. I saw bands for the third time. I met and took pictures with members of my favorite bands. I made new friendships, and overall, I made new memories. Summer Slaughter 2007. I'd like to give a shout out to Brandon, John, Jason, Melissa, Kevin, Ryan, Chris, and Ariel for playing a crucial role in my Summer Slaughter experience. Remember, if you're a death metal fan, if you're a deathcore fan, if you're a push mosher, if you're a hardcore mosher, if you're a security guard, or if you're someone just standing still in the fucking crowd or in the fucking balcony, keep the fucking peace. Keep peace in the fucking scene. Let people have fun, and make sure you have fun yourself. Let go just a little fucking bit. If you lose yourself just a little bit, you'll have a fucking story to tell. So I'll see y'all next show. Slaughter Crew represent. We are the fucking enemies. Stick to your guns, light your own path, and peace the fuck out.